Welcome to my channel. HD Rare Coins 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Jefferson nickel 5 cent, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. The Jefferson nickel, which has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1938, may not be the first coin that comes to mind when you think about valuable collectibles. However, some editions of the Jefferson nickel, like the 1971 5-cent piece, have captured the attention of coin enthusiasts and collectors due to rare features that make them far more valuable than their face value of just 5 cents. While you might not think a nickel could be worth anything beyond its basic denomination, there are rare exceptions where a simple coin like the 1971 Jefferson nickel can actually be worth thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands, of dollars. And the good news is that you might have one sitting in your pocket right now. Let's dive into why the 1971 Jefferson nickel has become a sought-after item in the world of coin collecting. The Jefferson nickel is easily recognizable. On the front, you'll find a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and one of the Founding Fathers. This design was created by artist Felix Schlag and has graced the obverse of the nickel since its debut. The reverse of the coin depicts Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has been the design on the nickel since 1938. Both of these designs have become iconic, making the Jefferson nickel a beloved part of American currency. Now, the 1971 Jefferson nickel might seem like a standard coin at first glance. After all, it was minted in large quantities, just like most nickels. However, there's a unique aspect of this coin that has garnered the attention of collectors over the years. In the case of the 1971 nickel, it all comes down to the specific details of the coin's production and the errors that may have occurred during its minting point. One of the most significant factors contributing to the 1971 nickel's value is the occurrence of rare minting errors. In the world of coin collecting, even small imperfections or anomalies during the minting process can significantly increase the value of a coin. These errors can range from doubled dies to off-center strikes, both of which can make a coin extraordinarily rare and desirable to collectors. The 1971 Jefferson nickel is no exception. Some of the coins minted that year contain unique errors that make them highly valuable to numismatists. For example, one of the most sought-after varieties of the 1971 nickel is the doubled die variety. A doubled die occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, creating a doubled image on the coin's design. This means that the details on the coin, such as the inscriptions or features on President Jefferson's portrait, will appear more than once, giving the coin a distinctive, slightly blurry look. These types of errors are relatively rare and can make a coin stand out from others in a collection. The 1971 Jefferson nickel with this double die error can attract significant attention at coin auctions, with collectors willing to pay top dollar for such a rare find. Another factor that contributes to the value of the 1971 Jefferson nickel is the overall condition of the coin. As with any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its worth. Coins that are in excellent or near mint condition, meaning they have been preserved well over the years without excessive wear or damage, are much more valuable than coins that have been heavily circulated. A 1971 nickel in pristine, uncirculated condition is considered a highly valuable item. When it comes to coins, rarity and condition are often the two main factors that determine how much a coin is worth on the market. Some collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that have been kept in the best possible condition since their minting. If a 1971 Jefferson nickel is free of scratches, discoloration, or other imperfections, its value can increase exponentially. Additionally, some rare finds, such as a coin with exceptional minting details or a unique error, can command an even higher price. The most coveted examples are the ones that remain in pristine condition and feature the kinds of errors that collectors crave. Speaking of collectors, let's talk about how the demand for certain coins can impact their value. In the world of numismatics, coin collectors often seek out specific editions of coins for their rarity and historical significance. The 1971 Jefferson nickel falls into this category, as collectors recognize the coin's potential for both error varieties and high-grade examples. These collectors are always on the lookout for coins like the 1971 nickel, and when one of these coins comes up for sale, there's often fierce competition to secure it. When demand is high, the price of the coin can skyrocket, and while a standard 1971 Jefferson nickel might only be worth its face value of 5 cents, a coin with an error or in excellent condition can easily fetch much higher prices at auction. In fact, there have been cases where a 1971 Jefferson nickel has sold for as much as $78,000. That's right, $78,000 for a single nickel, all because of its rarity, condition, and the potential for valuable minting errors. So, how can you tell if you've found a valuable 1971 Jefferson nickel? The first step is to examine the coin carefully. Look closely at the design, paying special attention to the details on the obverse and reverse. If you notice any doubling on the letters, numbers, or images, particularly around the word Liberty or President Jefferson's portrait, you may have a double die variety. Next, inspect the overall condition of the coin. If the coin looks almost brand new, with sharp details and minimal wear, it's likely in excellent condition and could be worth more than face value. It's also worth noting that finding a 1971 nickel with a rare minting error, like a misaligned die or off-center strike, could also increase its value. These types of errors are highly sought after by serious coin collectors, and having one of these rare coins in your possession could mean big money. If you believe you've found a valuable 1971 Jefferson nickel, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. Grading experts can provide an accurate assessment of the coin's condition and verify whether it contains any valuable errors. A certified grading service will also help you understand the coin's market value, so you can make an informed decision about selling or holding on to your treasure. To sum it up, the 1971 Jefferson nickel is much more than just a 5-cent piece. This coin has the potential to be worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and whether it contains any rare minting errors. Whether you've stumbled upon a rare double die variety, found a coin in pristine condition, or discovered an unusual error, the 1971 Jefferson nickel can be a valuable addition to any collection. With a little bit of knowledge and a keen eye for detail, you could be holding on to a coin worth as much as $78,000. That's right, $78,000 for a single nickel. So, keep an eye out for these rare coins. They might be worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 2. The Jefferson nickel is one of the most iconic and widely recognized coins in American history, but not all Jefferson nickels are created equal. In fact, some of them can fetch extraordinary prices in the world of numismatics. If you've ever stumbled across a 1964 Jefferson nickel, you might want to take a closer look because this coin holds more value than just its face value of 5 cents. The 1964 Jefferson nickel has a rich history, and depending on certain factors like its condition, rarity, and specific features, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, there are cases where the 1964 nickel has sold for a jaw-dropping amount of money. In this video, we're diving deep into the 1964 Jefferson nickel, why it's valuable, what makes it so special, and how it could be worth up to $103,000. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel in circulation. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse side, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year of minting. On the reverse, you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's plantation in Virginia, which has been a part of the design since the coin's debut. These classic designs have been on the Jefferson nickel ever since, making it one of the most easily recognizable coins in U.S. currency. But what makes the 1964 version of this nickel so special? To understand the true value of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, we need to look at a few key factors: the history behind the coin, its rarity, and most importantly, the condition in which it was struck. While 1964 was a fairly typical year for nickel production, there are certain nuances that make some 1964 nickels stand out, particularly when it comes to their condition and any potential minting errors. First and foremost, condition plays a huge role in the value of any coin. In 1964, the United States Mint produced a vast number of Jefferson nickels, meaning that many of them were circulated and are now heavily worn. However, if you happen to find a 1964 Jefferson nickel that has been kept in pristine condition, you could be sitting on a small treasure. Coins that are classified as uncirculated, meaning they have never been used in circulation, are always more valuable to collectors. These coins are often in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and no visible signs of wear. If you come across a 1964 nickel in uncirculated condition, it could be worth more than you might expect, sometimes fetching hundreds of dollars at auction. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons the 1964 Jefferson nickel is worth so much: minting errors. Over the years, many Jefferson nickels have been found to have small errors in their design or production process. While these errors are usually subtle, they can make a coin far more valuable than a typical one. In the case of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, a small percentage of them were struck with errors such as doubling, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors are what collectors look for when searching for rare coins, and the rarer the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. For example, a 1964 nickel with a double die error, where the image is struck twice, resulting in a slightly blurry or doubled appearance, can significantly increase its value. Other errors like misaligned dies or off-center strikes also add to the appeal of the coin and could make it worth thousands more than its face value. If you're wondering how to spot a valuable 1964 Jefferson nickel, look closely at the coin's design. Check the letters, numbers, and features on the obverse and reverse to see if there are any signs of doubling or misalignment. If you notice anything unusual, such as extra details or blurry lines, you could have an error coin on your hands. These subtle differences may be hard to spot at first, but they are what make a coin rare and, ultimately, valuable. If you find a coin with a noticeable error, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a certified coin grading service. A certified expert will be able to evaluate the coin's condition, confirm any errors, and provide an official grade, which will give you a better idea of its value. Another factor that can contribute to the value of the 1964 Jefferson nickel is its silver content. The 1964 nickel was made from a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which was standard for the coin at the time. However, some collectors are particularly drawn to coins from earlier years that contained a higher percentage of silver. For example, the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar contained 90% silver, and many collectors focus on the silver content in older coins when determining their value. While the 1964 Jefferson nickel doesn't contain silver, its historical significance and the fact that it was minted during a period of change for U.S. coinage adds to its desirability among collectors. As with any collectible, rarity plays a significant role in determining value. While millions of 1964 Jefferson nickels were minted, certain examples are far rarer than others. If you happen to find a 1964 nickel in exceptional condition or with a rare minting error, it could be worth far more than its face value. There have been cases where rare and error-filled 1964 Jefferson nickels have been sold at auction for impressive sums. The rarity of certain versions of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, combined with the demand from collectors, has made it one of the more sought-after coins in the numismatic world. So, how much is a 1964 Jefferson nickel worth? The value can vary greatly depending on the coin's condition, rarity, and any minting errors it may have. Most 1964 Jefferson nickels will be worth only a small premium over face value if they're in typical circulated condition. However, if you find a coin that's in mint condition or has a rare minting error, you could be looking at a much higher price. The most valuable 1964 Jefferson nickels, especially those with significant errors or in uncirculated condition, have been known to sell for amounts that might surprise you. For example, a 1964 Jefferson nickel with a rare minting error or in exceptional condition could sell for up to $103,000. That's right, $103,000 for a single coin. That's an incredible amount of money for what appears to be just a 5-cent piece. If you're lucky enough to have a 1964 Jefferson nickel that's in good condition or contains a minting error, you may want to get it appraised by a professional to ensure you're getting an accurate value for it. You never know, your 5-cent coin could be worth much more than you imagined. In conclusion, while the 1964 Jefferson nickel may seem like a standard piece of American currency, it holds significant value in the world of coin collecting. Whether it's due to its historical significance, its condition, or the presence of minting errors, the 1964 Jefferson nickel has become a highly desirable coin for collectors. If you happen to find one in excellent condition or with an error, you could be holding onto a coin worth up to $103,000. So, next time you're going through your change, make sure to keep an eye out for this rare and valuable coin. You never know what you might find. Top 3. The Jefferson nickel is a staple in American currency, and while it's common to see these 5-cent coins in your pocket, there are certain years and editions that can be worth far more than their face value. Today, we're diving into one such year, the 1970 Jefferson nickel. While it might seem like just another nickel, the 1970 version holds a hidden value that can make it highly sought after by coin collectors and numismatists. Whether it's due to its rarity, minting errors, or the unique condition of certain specimens, the 1970 Jefferson nickel can fetch an impressive price. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the beloved Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin showcases President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the front, while the reverse displays a representation of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation in Virginia. This design has remained mostly unchanged for decades, making it instantly recognizable to anyone who handles U.S. currency. However, not all Jefferson nickels are worth the same. The 1970 Jefferson nickel, in particular, stands out for its relative scarcity and potential errors during the minting process. These features make it one of the more desirable coins among collectors. The key to its value lies in the details, specifically in the coin's condition and any errors that may have occurred during production. First, let's talk about the minting process. The United States Mint produces millions of coins every year, and the 1970 Jefferson nickel was no exception. It was struck in large quantities and initially circulated just like any other coin. However, some of the 1970 nickels were produced with slight imperfections or errors during the minting process. These errors are highly valuable to collectors because they make the coin stand out from the rest. Even a small mistake, like a misaligned die or a doubled strike, can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into something extraordinary. These error coins, especially those that were produced in limited numbers, are worth far more than their face value. For example, one of the most desirable versions of the 1970 Jefferson nickel is the doubled die variety. A doubled die occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or worn, resulting in the coin having doubled features on the obverse or reverse. In some cases, the doubling can be subtle, but in others, it can be quite dramatic, with parts of the design appearing twice. These doubled die coins are highly prized by collectors because they are rare, and the error is often easy to spot if you know what to look for. If you happen to come across a 1970 Jefferson nickel with a noticeable double die error, it could be worth far more than a typical nickel. Beyond minting errors, the overall condition of the coin is another important factor when determining its value. Coins that have been in circulation for a long time tend to show signs of wear and tear. The more worn a coin is, the less valuable it becomes. However, if you find a 1970 Jefferson nickel that is in excellent condition, it could be worth a lot more than a coin that has been heavily circulated. Coins that are graded as uncirculated, meaning they have never been used in circulation, are always more valuable than coins that have seen years of wear. An uncirculated 1970 Jefferson nickel can command a much higher price because it retains its original sharp details, smooth surfaces, and vibrant design. Another factor to consider is the rarity of certain 1970 Jefferson nickels. While millions of these coins were produced, not all of them are still around today. Some may have been lost, damaged, or melted down over the years, leaving a smaller supply for collectors to chase. This scarcity drives up the value of the remaining coins, especially those in exceptional condition or with rare minting errors. When a coin is both rare and highly sought after, its value can increase exponentially. The 1970 Jefferson nickel, with its unique characteristics and potential for error, falls into this category, making it an attractive target for collectors. So, what exactly makes the 1970 Jefferson nickel worth so much? A well-preserved coin with a rare minting error could be worth significantly more than its face value. In fact, some collectors have paid as much as $80,000 for a 1970 Jefferson nickel in pristine condition with an error, like a doubled die. That's right, $80,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 5 cents. This extraordinary price reflects the rarity and demand for these specific coins among collectors. Coins with significant minting errors, such as the double die variety, are always in high demand, and their rarity makes them even more valuable. If you think you might have a valuable 1970 Jefferson nickel in your possession, it's important to examine it carefully. Start by looking at the details on the coin's design. Pay close attention to the inscriptions, the image of Jefferson, and the Monticello building on the reverse. If you notice any doubling of the letters, numbers, or images, there's a good chance you've found a double die variety. Additionally, inspect the overall condition of the coin. If it appears to be in uncirculated or near mint condition, that could significantly increase its value. Look for signs of wear and tear, such as scratches, discoloration, or smooth spots, as these can decrease the value of the coin. If you suspect that your 1970 Jefferson nickel might be worth something, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded. A certified coin grading service will assess the coin's condition, verify any errors, and provide you with an accurate valuation. This step is crucial if you plan to sell or auction the coin, as professional grading can help ensure you get the best possible price. Many collectors prefer to buy coins that have been graded, as this provides an objective evaluation of the coin's quality and authenticity. The 1970 Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can turn into a valuable collector's item. Thanks to its unique minting history, potential for rare errors, and the importance of its condition, this 5-cent coin can be worth far more than its face value. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare 1970 nickels, it could be worth up to $80,000. That's right, $80,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 5 cents. So, the next time you come across a 1970 Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. You never know what you might be holding in your hands. Top 4. The Jefferson nickel is a beloved piece of American currency, and while we commonly see these 5-cent coins in our pockets, certain years and editions hold incredible value among collectors. One such year is the 1996 Jefferson nickel. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a nickel, how much could it really be worth? Well, you might be surprised. The 1996 Jefferson nickel, with its unique features, specific minting conditions, and rarity, has the potential to fetch an astonishing amount of money in the right circumstances. So, let's dive into why this seemingly ordinary coin could actually be worth far more than its face value. The Jefferson nickel has a long history, having been first introduced in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with the inscriptions, Liberty, and In God We Trust, along with the year of minting. The reverse of the coin showcases Monticello, the historic Virginia estate where Jefferson lived. This design has remained consistent for decades, making it one of the most recognizable and iconic coins in American currency. But what makes the 1996 Jefferson nickel so valuable? To understand the true worth of this coin, we need to consider a few key factors, including minting errors, the coin's condition, and its relative rarity. Even though the 1996 Jefferson nickel was minted in large quantities, some of these coins have special characteristics that set them apart from others, making them highly sought after by collectors. One of the main reasons that the 1996 Jefferson nickel is worth so much is due to errors that occurred during its minting. The U.S. Mint produces millions of coins every year, and while the majority of them are standard and free from defects, there are always a small number of coins that are struck with imperfections. These imperfections or errors can be incredibly valuable, especially when they are rare or difficult to spot. For example, Some 1996 Jefferson nickels were struck with doubling errors, where the image of Jefferson or the inscriptions on the coin are duplicated slightly, giving the coin a blurry or doubled appearance. These doubled die errors are highly prized by collectors because they are rare and provide a glimpse into the imperfections of the minting process. There are also other types of minting errors that make certain 1996 Jefferson nickels valuable. Off-center strikes, die cracks, or misalignments can all add significant value to a coin. These errors can be subtle, but to a trained eye, they stand out and signal that the coin is something special. A 1996 Jefferson nickel with any of these rare errors can be worth thousands of dollars more than a typical coin. It's the mistakes and imperfections that make these coins highly desirable in the numismatic world. Another factor that can affect the value of the 1996 Jefferson nickel is its condition. Like all coins, the condition of the 1996 nickel plays a huge role in determining its worth. Coins that have been in circulation for many years tend to show signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, or worn features. These coins are typically worth just a small premium above their face value. However, coins that have been well preserved or never circulated, often referred to as uncirculated coins, can be worth a lot more. An uncirculated 1996 Jefferson nickel that still has sharp, detailed features and no signs of wear can command a much higher price, as collectors highly value coins in pristine condition. In addition to minting errors and condition, scarcity also plays a role in the value of the 1996 Jefferson nickel. While millions of these coins were produced, not all of them have survived in good condition. Some have been lost, damaged, or worn down over time, making those that remain in excellent shape rarer and more valuable. In fact, even within the 1996 Jefferson nickel series, there are specific versions that are more difficult to find than others. Whether it's a coin with a rare error or one that is simply in exceptional condition, the rarity of a particular nickel makes it more desirable to collectors. The more difficult it is to find a certain coin, the higher its value. Now, let's talk about how much the 1996 Jefferson nickel can be worth. The value of these coins can vary significantly depending on their condition, any minting errors, and their rarity. Most 1996 Jefferson nickels, especially those in circulated condition, are worth only a small premium over face value. However, if you happen to find one with a minting error or an uncirculated condition, the value can skyrocket. In fact, certain 1996 Jefferson nickels have been known to sell for as much as $54,000. That's right, $54,000 for a coin that originally cost just 5 cents. This remarkable price reflects the rarity, demand, and exceptional qualities of the coin, making it a highly coveted item for collectors and investors alike. If you're wondering how to spot a valuable 1996 Jefferson nickel, there are a few things to look for. First, examine the coin carefully for any signs of doubling or misalignment in the design. Look closely at Jefferson's portrait, the date, and the words on the coin to see if any features appear doubled or blurry. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. If the nickel is shiny, with sharp details and no visible wear, it could be an uncirculated specimen. Also, keep an eye out for any other minting errors, such as off-center strikes or die cracks, which can make the coin more valuable. If you find a coin that looks like it has any of these features, it's a good idea to get it appraised by a professional numismatist or have it graded by a certified coin grading service. These experts can help you determine the exact value of the coin based on its condition and any unique features it may have. If you are fortunate enough to find a 1996 Jefferson nickel in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, you could be holding on to a valuable piece of American history. While most of these coins are still fairly common, those with special characteristics can bring in remarkable prices at auctions or through private sales. Collectors around the world are always on the lookout for rare coins like the 1996 Jefferson nickel, making it a great investment for anyone who enjoys the hobby of coin collecting. In conclusion, while the 1996 Jefferson nickel may seem like a regular 5-cent coin at first glance, it holds significant value in the numismatic world. Thanks to its potential for minting errors, rarity, and condition, The 1996 Jefferson nickel has become one of the more valuable coins in the Jefferson nickel series. If you come across a 1996 nickel that appears to have been struck with an error or is in exceptional condition, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $54,000. So, the next time you're going through your change, take a moment to examine your 1996 Jefferson nickels. You may be holding on to a rare treasure without even knowing it. Top 5. When we think of U.S. currency, we often picture the familiar coins and bills we use every day. One coin that has long been a staple of American change is the Jefferson nickel. Introduced in 1938, this 5-cent piece has been through many changes, but one year stands out among collectors as particularly valuable: the 1990 Jefferson nickel. While most of us wouldn't think twice about finding this coin in our pocket change, the truth is that certain 1,990 nickels are worth far more than their face value. In fact, they can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So, let's explore why the 1990 Jefferson nickel could be a goldmine for those lucky enough to find it in the right condition or with rare characteristics. The Jefferson nickel, designed by Felix Schlag, has been around for over 80 years and remains one of the most iconic U.S. coins. It features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and an image of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. This classic design has been the standard for the nickel for decades, making it instantly recognizable to anyone who handles U.S. coins. However, the 1990 version of the Jefferson nickel stands out for its potential value, thanks to a combination of minting errors, rarity, and overall condition. The first thing to know about the 1990 Jefferson nickel is that, like most coins, there were millions of these nickels minted that year. The U.S. Mint produced a significant number of them for circulation, and they entered into general use, just like any other nickel. However, some of these 1990 nickels were struck with minting errors that make them highly desirable to collectors. These errors are not uncommon in coins produced by the U.S. Mint, but when they occur, they can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable. One of the most notable errors that can occur in a 1990 Jefferson nickel is a double die error. A double die happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or worn, causing some parts of the design to be struck more than once. This results in a slight doubling of the image, making it look blurry or duplicated. If you closely examine the portrait of Jefferson or the lettering on the coin, you may notice that some parts appear doubled. The double die error is highly sought after by collectors because it's an unusual and distinctive feature that makes the coin stand out from the rest. These coins are far rarer than their correctly struck counterparts, which is why they can command such a high price in the marketplace. Another error that can be found in the 1990 Jefferson nickel is an off-center strike. When the coin is not properly aligned with the die during the minting process, the result is a coin that is struck off-center, causing parts of the design to be missing or distorted. Off-center strikes are quite rare and can make a coin incredibly valuable if the error is severe enough. Some collectors actively search for these kinds of coins, as they're considered a unique example of the minting process at work. Beyond minting errors, the overall condition of the 1990 Jefferson nickel also plays a significant role in determining its value. Like all coins, the more worn a coin is, the less it's worth. Coins that have been heavily circulated over the years often show signs of wear, such as scratches, fading, and smoothing of the design. While these coins are still collectible, they're usually not worth much more than face value. On the other hand, coins that have been well preserved, or even those that have never been used in circulation, called uncirculated coins, are worth considerably more. An uncirculated 1990 Jefferson nickel is far rarer than a circulated one, and collectors will pay top dollar for coins that are in pristine condition, with no visible damage or wear. The value of the 1990 Jefferson nickel also depends on its scarcity. Although millions were produced that year, some of these coins have become more difficult to find, especially in excellent condition or with minting errors. Over time, some of these nickels were lost, damaged, or melted down, reducing the number of good quality 1990 nickels available to collectors. As a result, the remaining coins that are in exceptional shape or have rare errors have become increasingly valuable. If you happen to come across one of these coins, especially if it's in near perfect condition or displays a minting error. It could be worth a small fortune. So, just how much can a 1990 Jefferson nickel be worth? Well, that depends on the specific coin and its characteristics. A typical 1990 Jefferson nickel that has been used in circulation is worth about 5 cents, as expected. However, if you happen to have a 1990 nickel that's been preserved in excellent condition or has a noticeable minting error, its value could rise dramatically. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1990 Jefferson nickel could fetch anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s, depending on its condition and rarity. And if you're lucky enough to own a 1990 Jefferson nickel with a double die error or another rare minting imperfection, its value could skyrocket. In fact, certain 1990 nickels have been sold for as much as $60,000. That's right, $60,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 5 cents. This incredible price reflects the rarity, desirability, and uniqueness of the coin, which is why it has become such a highly coveted item among coin collectors. If you think you might have a valuable 1990 Jefferson nickel, it's important to examine it carefully for any signs of minting errors or unusual characteristics. Start by inspecting the coin's design, paying close attention to the image of Jefferson and the lettering on the obverse. Look for any signs of doubling or misalignment. Next, evaluate the overall condition of the coin. If it looks shiny, with crisp details and no visible wear, it could be an uncirculated specimen. Additionally, keep an eye out for any off-center strikes or other imperfections that might make the coin more valuable. If you notice any of these features, it's a good idea to have the coin professionally graded. A certified coin grading service can assess its condition, authenticate any errors, and provide you with an accurate value. In conclusion, the 1990 Jefferson nickel is much more than just a 5-cent piece of change. With its potential for rare minting errors, exceptional condition, and overall rarity, this coin has become a highly sought-after item in the world of numismatics. If you find a 1990 Jefferson nickel that displays a double die error, an off-center strike, or is in uncirculated condition, you could be holding onto a coin worth as much as $60,000. So, the next time you come across a 1990 Jefferson nickel in your pocket change, take a closer look. You never know if it could be worth more than a fortune.